Information from the medical center. We want to bring Governor Greg Abbott into the conversation.
Governor, we do appreciate the time as always. Our medical community is very concerned. You just heard about this Delta variant. Given those new numbers, where do you stand on potentially re-implementing the mask mandate that you put in place just last year?
So first, let's talk about the medical component of it. The medical component, as we all know, is that one of the things that dramatically reduces, if not eliminates, the possibility of getting COVID, even getting the Delta variant of COVID, is getting a vaccine. And so the first thing that we are doing is the state, the Department of State Health Services, as well as the chief of the Texas Division of Emergency Management, are working with local officials across the state of Texas to ensure that everyone has plentiful supplies of the vaccine so that anybody who wants the vaccine will be able to get the vaccine. Then the second thing, in direct response to your question, and that is there will be no mask mandate imposed, and the reasons for that are very clear, and that is there are so many people who have immunities to COVID, whether it be through the vaccination, whether it be through their own exposure and their recovery from it, which would be acquired immunity, and that is, it would be inappropriate to require people who already have immunity to wear a mask, but also what we know, Chris, is this, and that is everyone watching the show, everyone in the state of Texas as well as the United States, they know exactly what the standards are, what practices they want to adopt to help protect themselves. And so there's no more time for government mandates. This is time for individual responsibility, period.
But when you look at the numbers, Governor, in fact, numbers just released today show that roughly 48% of Texans who are eligible for the vaccine have not gotten the vaccine. When you hear those numbers, you see the numbers are on the rise, you say the mask mandate is not going to be re-implemented. What can we do more?
Well, again, the most important thing we can do is to work to ensure that every Texan has incredibly easy access to vaccine. Let me run through some numbers real quick, and that is, if you look at the people who are most in danger to losing their life, which is our seniors, or are getting seriously ill, more than 70% of those people have received a vaccine shot. Actually, more than 80% have received a vaccine shot. Almost 70% have received 2 shots. And with regard to 50 to 64, over 70% of them have received a vaccine shot.
Sure.
It's only the younger cohort that are just now coming into the age group for vaccination
let's
that have
talk
not yet received a shot. I know
Governor,
I will, because it may be the case as kids return to school.
Sure. Absolutely. Let's talk about kids returning to school,
So as kids return to school, what you likely will see.
Yep, and I'm sorry we're on the satellite delay, but when you talk about kids going to school, parents want to know, will kids be forced to wear a mask in class when many classes resume in just over a month from now?
Sure. Kids will not be forced by government or by schools to wear a mask in school. They can, by parental choice, wear a mask, but there will be no government mandate requiring masks. Chris, what we do anticipate is that as kids are approaching the beginning of school, and with the Delta variant increasing, you probably will see an increase in the number of parents who are choosing to have their child vaccinated, as well as an increase in teachers who have not yet been vaccinated, probably going out and getting a vaccination. So I do anticipate seeing an increase in the number of people getting a vaccine.
Governor, the special session is still ongoing at the state capitol, but what's getting done, or rather what's not getting done, since dozens of state Democrats left Austin and fled to D.C.?
So when you talk about things not being done, there's tragedy, especially including the Houston area as well as across the state of Texas, and that is bail reform is not getting done. Since the time that the Democrats first left during the regular session, there now have been, I think, 7 people killed because of people who were released on bail who should not have been released because of violent crimes they'd committed. And so literally lives are on the line because the Democrats have chosen not to participate in the special session. And then on top of that, of course, our most neediest kids, the kids in foster care, are not getting the additional funding that we propose to provide them. Our teachers are not getting an additional retirement check that they need. Property tax relief is not forthcoming. All of these issues that have been voted out of the Texas Senate are languishing because Democrats have chosen to play politics up in Washington, D.C. and are not casting votes.
Governor, I want to play you a part of a news conference that happened just a few hours ago with the Texas Democrats who are in D.C. Our investigator, Mario Diaz, asked some of those Democrats if they're still concerned about the risk of being arrested after fleeing the state of Texas during the special session. Let's roll that clip.
Nobody's afraid of getting arrested. And if they want to arrest them, let them bring it on. We'd rather go to jail. This fight for the freedom to vote, the constitutional right to vote in America is worth going to jail for. And the governor has always been privileged. He's been privileged not to have anything stripped away from his right to vote. And we want him to know that we would like to share the same opportunities that he's always shared.
Now, that was State Representative Semfronia Thompson. Governor, she mentioned you by name there, calling you privileged. What is your reaction to what you just heard?
You know, I've known her a long time, and I got to tell you, I've never been so disappointed in a comment that she makes, because everything she said right there was completely false. There is no one anywhere, any way in the state of Texas that's being denied the ability to vote because of this proposal that is up. Similarly, as she well knows, they would not be arrested the way that she suggested there. They are subject to what's called a call on the House, which means that the Sergeant at Arms works with the Texas Department of Public Safety to bring into the House the members who have fled their duty by going to Washington, D.C. But everything that Semfronia Thompson just told your audience right there is completely false. Everything she suggested is not contained in the election integrity bill, period.
Governor Gov Abbott, again, live in Austin tonight. We do thank you, as always, for your time. I hate when we have the satellite delay and I try to ask a question and then you respond and we speak on top of each other. For that, I do apologize. That's never my intention. Again, Governor, we do appreciate the time.
Thank you, Chris.
You got it. Of course.